Over the years, there has been many Supreme Court cases that have had a lasting impact over the landscape of American politics as well as civil rights enjoyed by American citizens. However, one of the most influential Supreme Court cases that extended the rights of all Americans was Roe versus Wade. As Cornell Law would state, it is the Supreme Court case that held that the Constitution protected a woman's right to an abortion. However, because of the precedent set by Roe versus Wade, this actually extended the right to privacy and bodily autonomy for all Americans, not just exclusively for women who were in search of abortion healthcare or abortion aftercare. Up until a couple months ago, Roe versus Wade had been overturned, and now the liberties enjoyed by everybody had now been stripped away and taken away. And now this also opened up the possibility for more rights to be taken away as well from the American people. I surmise to you today that the only way to properly combat the removal and stripping of our civil rights is to contact your local representative by sending them via an email, text message, a phone call, and letting them know that your stance on abortion and Roe versus Wade is unchanged just because of the Supreme Court case, and that you would like further efforts in order to codify abortion as well as bodily autonomy and privacy. First and foremost, this removed the right to privacy. So Roe versus Wade not only fought for abortion care, like I said, it also gave people the right to bodily autonomy and privacy, in that whenever it was first written and ruled, it allowed for women and individual parties to assess their own situations and come to a decision on whether or not they would be able to terminate any pregnancies, unwanted or wanted. And a review posted by the Harvard Law Kennedy School by Sarah Wold, she writes, "This foundational privacy right was the basis for several extremely important court decisions," and I'm paraphrasing here, interracial marriage, same-sex marriage, as well as access to contraceptives. In this collaboration by these numerous professors at Harvard Law, they saw the importance of Roe versus Wade and the issues and ramifications of what could happen whenever it was taken away. So for my visuals, I have a Big Brother is watching, and then I also have a clothes hanger. The reason being is just because of the removal of legal and safe access to abortion care does not mean that there will be a decrease or decline in the amount of actual abortions. Instead, there will be an increase in unsafe abortions and increased risks that could have been mitigated with proper and meaningful legislation to abortion care and to potential victims of this removal. As well, I also have a visual of Big Brother is watching. The reason being is that instead of enjoying autonomous freedom in order to navigate through American society, choosing who to love, when you want to love, or the ability to choose when you can or can't start a family, has been greatly removed away from every American citizen now. So how did we come to this issue? Well, there's a lot of reasons or ways that we came to this issue. My primary focus will be on the Supreme Court and the way that they were allowed to freely remove these civil liberties and rights from Americans without any proper supervision. From the actual Supreme Court website, it states, Article 3 of the Constitution, that judges both of the Supreme Court and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior. However, as we just saw a couple months ago, this was in direct opposite of what the American people say and what they believed and their actual stance on the views. The reason I say that the American people disagreed is that the Pew Research Organization did a national poll on Americans, and they found that 62% of Americans say that abortion should be legal in all or most cases. So as you can see, the data and the numbers don't lie. If over 62% of Americans believe that abortion care and the actual right to abortion should be legal, why is it that 9 people in the entire United States have a say-so over whether or not we get to keep this right or extend it? Another issue with the Supreme Court is that all of the Supreme Court justices are president appointed, meaning that we, the American people, have no say-so over who gets appointed, who gets this position, or who gets to become one of the ultimate Supreme Court justices of the Supreme Court in all the land. So, as the American revolutionists used to say, unfair taxation without proper representation. We, the people, are not being properly represented by who the president picks to rule the Supreme Court. So, the future is not set in stone. The laws are not set in stone. Everything is viable to change. How can we change it? How can we, a young college student, senior, freshman, sophomore, or even the professor, change everything that's going on in the country and reverse the gears backwards to extend our civil rights? We can call our civil representatives or local representatives in Congress. Just a reminder, they do work for you. And as stated by the lobbyists for good, phone calls to Congress can be powerful and impactful if a large group of people call at the same time about the same issue. So for those of you who have any concerns about whether or not your calls would actually be answered by a real person, whether they would actually relay the information to their higher-ups or to their bosses, just remember that it only takes one person to start it and everybody else to follow along and follow through with it. If it wasn't for hundreds of thousands of people advocating for the civil rights movement, we wouldn't have the extension of civil rights to African Americans that we have today. This also goes for this also goes for women's rights in the case of abortion care and equal access and safe access to abortion. We all need to work together in order to call our local representatives and let them know that they need to push for better access and meaningful legislation that could extend abortion care for all women. All right. Here's my intro. These things. They're a little long. I have some quotations on them. I also have my visuals. Thank you.